Hello and welcome to Waffle House, and welcome to the position we call the door core. If you're energetic, a team player who possesses that ability to think on your feet, in all your life people have always said that you're the friendliest person they've ever met and that you really know how to make people feel at home, then you're our kind of person. Just the kind of person we need meeting and greeting at our front door. Being a team member in a door core is more than just a smile and a quick hello. As you'll see in this video, you have to be a juggler, a smooth talker, an Olympic sprinter, and an entertainer, all without moving more than 6 feet away from your post, the door. It's not always easy, but if you're the kind of person we think you are, then you're in for the ride of your life. So where do we begin? The first impression is always a great place to start.
I think a professional appearance is vital at the door. I'm talking about neat, clean, well-groomed, enthusiastic, great attitude. After all, I am the first impression of Waffle House a customer gets. The door core uniform for females is dark slacks or a skirt, nothing tight, and never jeans, a white long-sleeve button-down Oxford shirt, a Waffle House ascot, and a name tag. Now the male uniform is dark slacks, a white long-sleeve button-down Oxford shirt, Waffle House tie, and a name tag. Now your shoes should be comfortable black leather closed-toe with rubber soles, you know, so that you don't slip. Oh, and go easy on the cologne, your makeup, and jewelry. Now that goes for you guys too. The cologne and the jewelry, I mean. Oh, and the most important thing, don't forget to smile.
The door core uniform is one of the first impressions of Waffle House that a customer gets, so it's very important. Your slacks or skirt should preferably be black, and your complete uniform should be clean and pressed at all times. But I must stress again what Marlo said is true. The most important part of any door core uniform is your smile. It's that warm, friendly facial expression coupled with that friendly hello and goodbye that make customers feel welcome and glad they chose our restaurant.
Hello, welcome to Waffle House.
Hi.
How are y'all doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Good, good. It'll be just a minute before your table's ready, so why don't you help yourself to a cup of coffee over at the coffee bar.
Thank you.
Good. Somebody told me when I first started to think of Waffle House like I would my home. That helped a lot because I pride myself on being a good host. I love company, and I wouldn't dream of friends dropping in even for a few minutes without having them sit a bit, offering them something to drink and something good to eat. Excuse me, here comes another customer. Hello, welcome to Waffle House. It'll be just a minute before your table's ready, so if you'd like a cup of coffee, help yourself over at the coffee bar.
Thank you.
It is your job not only to open the door and greet the customer with a smile, but to assure them of a very short wait and to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Offer them a cup of coffee, but be careful. Never be lured away from your post, that front door. Because of the unique way that Waffle Houses are designed, it's only natural that sometimes we have more customers than we have booths or counter space for. But again, because of the way we're designed, the average table turns every 15 to 21 minutes. And that's when a member of the door core really shines. It's your job to convince each and every customer that it's a short wait, maybe just a cup of coffee away. And you have to note their names and place in line and speed up the whole process by having them know what item on the menu they want by the time they're seated. And you always have to keep your eye on that door. No matter how many customers we have, we don't want any getting away. Now, I can't stress this enough. Our business and your paycheck depend on turning those tables. Get the customers in the door, point them to that waiting coffee, get their names along with a brief description so you'll recognize them when it's their turn, and write it on your door core checklist. Take the time to let them know what a short wait it will be and get a menu in their hand so they can start looking over it and they'll know what they want to eat before they're seated.
There was this one time when our store was getting really busy, and there I was saying my hellos, offering coffee, waiting chairs, passing out menus, and doing my best to make people feel comfortable. Well, anyway, I was getting another pot of coffee for the coffee bar, and I looked up and saw these 3 people peek in, then walk back to the parking lot. Well, before I even thought about it, I put that coffee on the hot plate and rushed to the door. Excuse me! You all didn't think I was going to let you leave without getting a cup of coffee now, did you? Now, by the time you get in your car, go somewhere else, you could be sitting at one of our tables ordering what you came here to get in the first place. Well, they looked at me like I was crazy. Then they busted out laughing and came on inside. You know, that's my day as a door core that I remember the best.
Now, I've told you that we never let a customer get away, but there are some things that we never do. We never go into the parking lot after a customer, no matter what. Now, you can do like Marlo did. Open the door and kindly ask the customer to come back in, but again, never go into the parking lot. It's your job to convince the customer to stay before they start heading out that door. Stay inside. Also, we never go behind the counter, no matter how busy or how slow things may be. And finally, we never close the blinds on third shift, even if we're really crowded, for safety reasons.
It was my first shift on the door core, and I had just sent a party of 4 to the last empty booth when 2 more cars pulled into the parking lot. It looked like we were about to get busy. So I grabbed a quick look at the coffee bar to make sure both pots were full and there were plenty of cups. And I pulled out my little checklist notepad to write the name and number of people in each party so I could seat them in the order they came in. My manager suggested writing a brief description like red tie or green shirt next to the name to help me remember each customer. So I looked at the first customer and he was, well, rather short. And I almost wrote that down, but then I remembered that sometimes when I'm waiting in a restaurant, instead of asking how long before I'm served, I just peek over a shoulder. So I figured most people are probably a lot like me, and the last thing I'd want that man to see was a description that might hurt his feelings. And that's really helped me keep my descriptions limited to clothes. And to this day, I've never gotten a name or my seating order wrong.
Keeping an accurate list is really important. It keeps you from seating parties out of turn and assures the customer that you're organized. We want to always seat customers on a first-in, first-seated basis. And that tip about limiting descriptions of customers to their clothes, it's a good one. Don't just write down ugly tie. And oh, another thing, at Waffle House, we don't call numbers. Now serving number 12, or use a big bulky reservation pad. Instead, we review the description, identify the customer, and then call them by name. It's much more personal. Careful to always use the checklist, however. Even though you can probably remember their name, it's important that a customer see you with the pad. It makes them feel like you're in control and helps them feel more sure that they won't be out of line. There'll be times when every customer's been greeted and seated and no new customers appear to be arriving. But there's still plenty of things for a member of the door corps to do without straying too far from that front door.
You know, I like to stay busy, so I don't mind stepping in and helping the service team. When I've made sure that all customers are happy, I'll wipe down a table and seat that needs it, or maybe even get a table ready for bussing. You know, you stack the dishes and then push them towards the salesperson so they can get at them easier. Now, if a high chair's dirty, I pass the tray to the salesperson to clean while I wipe down the rest of the chair. Helping each other helps keep everybody happy, plus it gives us the opportunity to serve more customers.
Now, there are a few key things to know about the door corps. The first, of course, is to always take care of that door. The second is to never go behind the counter, not for anything. Now, I know it's tempting when your teammates are busy and you need something. You hate to bother them. Or maybe you think you should pitch in and help them with dishes. Don't. If you're behind the counter when people walk in, you could lose customers, and lost customers results in lost tips for your friends. Keep busy by talking to waiting customers, cleaning the glass, or surfacing the coffee bar. Your coffee bar should have a small table or condiment stand, a small trash can with changeable liner, an electric hot plate, preferably 2-eyed. Make sure that the coffee's always fresh. You should get a fresh pot from a salesperson every 20 minutes. Only have 1 pot of coffee on the bar if we don't have a crowd. It saves coffee and that saves money. You're also responsible for making sure there's enough creamer, sugar, and sweet and low, that there's some kind of basket or cup to hold the sweet and low, plenty of spoons, along with 2 16-ounce glasses, one for clean spoons, the other for the dirty ones, Waffle House napkins, coffee cups, a minimum of 10 menus, glass cleaner and newspaper, and a door core checklist with a sharpened pencil or pen. And there are other things in the Waffle House that are your responsibility. As I mentioned earlier, make time to talk to waiting customers. Look for something of interest, maybe something you might have in common, and then talk about it. If possible, let them know in line where they are. It lets them know that you're really on top of things. Plus, it makes the time go by quicker.
Seems like I'm always cleaning the glass. Then in walks a customer. And when I finally get back to it, smudge city. Of course, it's all part of the job. And it didn't take me long to realize that if I stayed on top of it, gave them a good quick swipe with the spray cleaner and newspaper I keep at my station, those windows never stop sparkling. And it takes me no time at all. And it makes sense too. Our doors and windows make an impression, just like I make one when I say hello and goodbye to all our customers.
I know that old joke about, I don't do windows, but here at Waffle House we do. As a member of the door corps, you're the one responsible for first impressions. And the windows, the door glass, the anodized aluminum trim, keeping all that clean and shiny gives a positive first impression. And if you stay on top of it, it really takes no time at all.
So when you think about it, I am responsible for the first and last impression people have of the Waffle House. When you look at it like that, it makes it easy to keep my area tidy. It only takes a minute to walk into the entranceway and pick up a piece of paper, or ask for another pot of coffee, or clean cups for the coffee bar when I see we're running low. And even though I can't leave my duties at the door long enough to clean it, it is my responsibility to let the manager know when the bathrooms are dirty, need to be stocked with toilet paper, soap, paper towels, or even when a light is burned out.
Well, you've just heard about more of your responsibilities. You police your area for trash or dropped items. You mop up any and all spills immediately. You already know about the coffee bar. And you watch over the bathroom. However, never take the time to clean or restock it yourself. Tell the manager and he'll assign someone to do it. And don't feel guilty. It's your responsibility to stay at the door. We can't afford to have you away from it. Now, being a member of Door Corps is a major responsibility, but it's nothing you can't handle if you just remember a few points. Always open the front door and welcome each customer with a smile and friendly greeting. If there's a wait, assure the customer there will be a short one and offer a beverage and a chair. Write each waiting customer's name and a brief description down so you'll be able to call them by name and seat them on a first-in, first-seated basis. Give each waiting customer a menu and offer suggestions. Talk to your customers. It makes their wait seem shorter. Make sure the coffee bar is stocked and your area is clean. Help bus tables when possible. Clean glass and mirrors, and check bathrooms when time allows. Close window blinds if it becomes crowded so that people wouldn't come in if they thought it would be crowded. At all other times, especially third shift, keep blinds open so Waffle House always looks warm and inviting and friendly. Remember, never close blinds on third shift. Leave them open for safety reasons. And don't forget, your main job is to take care of that door. Well, now that you got that down pat, there might be a time when we project so much business that we have to have a two-door corps team. The primary responsibility of the second door corps is to speed up the process by actually taking orders while the customers are waiting to be seated. And because this second person is writing guest checks, he or she must be a trained salesperson. Here's what you do if you're ever part of a two-person door corps. Welcome each customer with a friendly greeting and a smile. Introduce yourself and tell the customer that it really is a short wait. Give all the waiting customers a menu. Write and price the guest check. Then give the guest check to the customer so they can pass it to the salesperson once they're seated. Help prepare dirty tables for busing, but never ever go behind the counter. Assist, and that's a key word, assist in the maintenance of the coffee bar, customer area, and restrooms. Clean the front door glass, customer area, restroom, and porch area as needed. And be sure to say thank you, come again, to each customer as they leave. We know being a member of the Door Corps is a really big job, but we also know you can handle it. All you have to do is remember a few simple rules.
No matter what other responsibilities you have, don't neglect the door.
And don't forget to say hello and goodbye, and always smile.
And remember, never let a customer get away.